Welcome to the Flicks, Picks, and the Nitpicks. And I am your humble host, No718. And we'll get right into it, man. First recording of the year. Where is it? I'm just not getting back into putting some stuff out. And I believe this is the first one I'm recording for the year. So Happy New Year to everyone out there. And we're going to get right into the 30th anniversary special trailer for Power Rangers. I believe I've seen clips of it online. I think it's more of a featurette. But I haven't really watched it because I wanted to watch it with you guys for quite some time. And you know me, I'm always late to the party, but I'm definitely going to give you my honest opinion for it. First off, if you ever know, and I'm going to start opening up a channel for Power Rangers stuff, I'm a big kid for that shit. It's like, Power Rangers hold a special place in my heart, just like, Ninja Turtles. Maybe not as high as Ninja Turtles, because that's a special joint. But it's special for its own very special reason to me. And, I'm into it, you dig? I come up off of that, so I love the series, and I come up off of the original one. So for me, seeing the original team back was everything. In particular, seeing Zach come back, because that was my favorite Ranger, the Black Ranger, the original one. But not just that, seeing them all together, even when the Red Ranger who came back as a Gold Ranger, Zeo, at least he came back, and he came back a couple other times too as well. And we've seen him share cast space with the three that replaced them. And Zach hasn't actually shared the screen with the guys that has replaced them outside of The Order. Yes, I know about The Order, that they were trying to crowdfund to do as a film for all the X-Rangers, which was actually a cool ass idea. And I don't think it ever came out. But to see him on screen with him, interact with him in a Power Ranger setting, not seeing any of them interact with them in a Power Ranger setting, was sad outside of, Jason, also St. John, and he was the only one to, and Tui has passed. So the only other person that has interacted with them was Zach. So it's even bigger to see Zach come back. So for me, I'm hyper excited. I'm gonna put a channel on for Power Rangers stuff, because now I'm gonna get right to it. I don't know, I'm gonna geek up over it. I normally like to do movies and stuff on this channel. It's about flicks and stuff. Every now and again I throw in the series. So why not the 30th anniversary special of Power Rangers? And why don't you guys sit down and watch it with me for my first time and geek out with it for me? And hopefully we get more out of it. But again, I heard it's more of a featurette. The things that I saw was more of a featurette. They say this is a trailer, but we'll check it out. See you on the other side.
It's been 28 years since I've been back on the set of Power Rangers.
It's kind of crazy to think about that it's been that many years.
It is like a featurette.
It's surreal. It's been a great experience.
It's been
You got big. This is so cool. Billy's back too. Yeah, man.
It's been really exciting to film a 30-year anniversary special.
Let's be honest, the main reason we're here is to see these characters, these actors that we're familiar with.
Y'all better not F this up.
I think the audience is going to be, first off, excited to see a bunch of us retro Rangers come back.
Directing two actors who were Power Rangers 30 years ago.
Johnny Young Boss. I liked him.
Too, Steve and Kat. It was a really interesting process.
Rizio.
Fans,
Zach is the front.
Always ask, are they ever going to get the band back together?
Just getting to work with Walter. Obviously, we have a long history together.
Well, David and I are working with him as Billy, and Zach being Zach and Billy. It's funny how similar it is, but in a different way.
David and Walter, Steven, and then Catherine. We've been working together a long time ago. So glad to see them.
There were a couple of us that had never been on camera together before.
Well, we were Mighty Morphin together, but separate casts. We've never actually worked
This
together.
is our first time working together.
Just coming back to the show in general has been.
This is so cool.
We're a family of Rangers, so to finally be on a set with them was really interesting.
There's so many little Easter eggs, and I just think it's
Whoa.
going to give the fans everything they want.
It's such a
They really put the Green Ranger there. I wonder if he
a lot of
felt
the same
something.
elements are there.
I think what I'm most excited about for the fans and this 30th anniversary special is for them to see us all together and our chemistry and our growth.
I think this is the best way we could have celebrated 30 years.
I hope they mention what happened to Jason. That's it. I liked it. This is cool. It's not really a trailer. It's more of a featurette. But I really love it though, because it brings you back. It brings back all the feels and seeing all of them sitting down and just talking about it. Even this person that we were part of a separate cast of Mighty Morphin, and we're finally on screen together. This is so fucking amazing. Little kid in me is excited, bro. Like, you have no idea. Zach was my favorite Ranger, and I hope they give him top billing in terms of being the leader, because he was the second in command, and he's been looked over as a Ranger in other formats outside of the live action. They've never invited him back, and I also know because he's part of SAG, so that was part of the reason. So, of course, they did a lot with Johnny Young Bosch's character, Adam, which I liked Adam's character. I really did, just not as the Black Ranger. And the dynamics of the team changed. The show wasn't what it once was. And not in a bad way, per se, but the transition was so abrupt because they didn't give a good send-off and passing of the baton. And then everybody's position is different than what you remember entering it with. So for the nostalgia, for those who started from the very beginning, because most of them could probably understand what I mean when they introduced the other three. But when they became Zeo, it felt like Zeo with them, because it was these are the characters of Zeo. As opposed to, we gotta push you guys in because we lost these guys and now we gotta write around it. It felt very unauthentic, if you will. Maybe that's partially because they did it out of trying to fix what they could not. Didn't see coming. You know what I mean? Them leaving without, you know what I'm saying, getting a raise. Then they had to switch gears and rewrite new characters and rewrite a new chemistry all out the gate. I think they found it a lot easier, especially after that separation of time with the Alien Rangers when they transitioned into Zeo, where that it felt more like now they became their own. They came into their own and were their own characters, at least for me. That being said, I just really don't want to see them do something corny like, well, Zach is saying that he hasn't been a Ranger in all this time, because one, it'll create more consistency flaws, because people have said that they showed up, they just unhelmeted, that was them. So how can we tell? Even when they said that the Black Ranger showed up in the Defender Shield, they said that was Adam. Did Adam voice it, or was Adam even there? Because he never took the helmet off. He does voiceover, so I could assume that he showed up and did a voiceover, but I don't even think that was, he said anything. So, but when you look up listings, people say that's him in there. And then when they had the big Ranger fight, they said that was supposed to be Zach Trini and Jason, though they never took their helmet off. And I don't even think they said anything. The only ones that was able to take the helmets off was the ones that were invited. Or at least they showed up. And from what I understood, they didn't invite everyone because they didn't want to spend that much money. And again, but now that I'm glad that Netflix is here and they're willing to put the money into it, I know that Jason has a situation going on. And for me, I am glad Jason is not in it, because they would have probably overdone Jason like they don't do him. Did bring him back several times to always make sure he's not only the very first Red Ranger, he's the greatest Red Ranger. He may not be the best Ranger ever, that's Tommy, but he is considered the best Red Ranger hands down. If that's the case, what I would want them to do with Zach is at least elevate his character into something more interesting, because he would be the one that hasn't been back, outside of obviously Tui Tang, rest in peace to her, that she, now that he's the only one that hasn't been there. I want to see more character development with him, but also Billy, because Billy has an interesting story, even though he's been in the show the longest, I believe, longest running Ranger, at least with episodes, if I'm not mistaken. He's at least maybe JDF is I think it might be Billy with the longest. But even with Billy being the longest one there, he actually went away to Aquitar, so he could have such an interesting story that I am actually really, really, really excited to see and interested to see what he's been doing in Aquitar. Did he have little half Aquitarian kids out there with the white female ranger, which will probably make his kid some sort of crazy, like, I don't know, you can create a crazy storyline with that, because he's a ranger on both sides. You know what I'm saying? So I like to see that. I like to see Zach have a life. You know, maybe he had kids. You know what I mean? I hope he had kids. If we don't make him just be the brother, the only one that didn't have a legacy. Because Lord knows in the comic books, they don't do nothing with his character. His character's all over the place. So I really want to see a lot more done with him. But I'm going to go check this out again, man. I'm battling because, you know, I love this show. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even going to lie with you, B. You feel me? I fucks with this show heavy, you dig? So we're going to check this joint out again. Cue this bad boy up. And cue this bad boy up. And go.
It's been 28 years.
And he looks good for his age. You think you can make this work?
Kind of crazy.
Billy looks pretty decent, even though you can see he's old. He's age. Catherine looks. They all look pretty good for their age.
Very
To be honest with
nostalgic.
you. All of them. Zach just looks real young. I really want to see how they're gonna handle Tui or Trini's character.
It's
And
really
then
exciting to
now, like with
film a
JDF
30-year anniversary special.
Let's be honest, the main
But I
reason
have this
here
funny
is to
feeling
see
he
these
recorded
characters,
something.
these actors,
Because there's no reason why would they
film
have
it
his
30 years ago.
have him about to
I think
take
the
something
audience
off
is going to
and
be
not
first off excited to see
and leave it like that.
retro Rangers come back.
Directing two actors who were Power Rangers 30 years ago, and actually from the other Rangers too, Steve and Kat, it was a really interesting process.
Meeting fans, the one thing they always
That
ask
looks-
are they ever going to get the band back together?
Just getting to work with Walter. Obviously, we have a long history together.
This is so cool.
David and I are working with him as Billy and Zach being Zach and Billy. It's funny how similar it is, but in a different way.
David and Walter, Steven, and then Catherine. We've been working together a long time ago. So glad to see them.
There were a couple of us that had never been on camera together before.
Well, we were Mighty Morphin together, but separate cast. We've never actually worked
This is
together.
our first time working together.
Just coming back to the show in general has been, it's just a joy.
We're a family of Rangers, so to finally be on a set with them was really interesting.
There's so many little Easter eggs. I just think it's going to give the fans everything they want.
I hope so.
It's such a different take on what we've done before, but a lot of the same elements are there.
I think what I'm most excited about for the fans and this 30th anniversary special is for them to see us all together and our chemistry and our growth.
I want to
I
see
think this is the best way we could have celebrated 30 years.
like the interaction and how they've been. I mean, it's gonna be hella dope. I wouldn't be surprised if Tommy somehow recorded something, or at least they'll pull up a close up and then probably recycle little footage. But it would be nice if they did something like that, a cool little, you know. I know that they've had this set up from way before. I know JDF said that he wasn't going to be a part of it, I hope for like one shot they'll do that, but I hope they focus on the core. I'm very interested in seeing what happens with Tui's story and see how they explain that away and how her daughter plays a role in this. I just want to see a lot more. I want to see how they mature the characters up, mature this up. I wonder if Bulk and Skull is there. I hope they show you gotta have Bulk and Skull. You gotta have. And if Trini's daughter goes to school and goes to their same school, if the high school principal is still there, that would be so cool. I don't know for sure if Ernie, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe Ernie might have passed. And that should have been the guy that owned the juice bar. Hopefully I'm not being effed up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna check it now. Yeah, oh, he's from New York City. Cut it out, man. Yeah, the guy that played Ernie is Richard Janelle, and he passed in December 2008 at the age of 47. How about that? Yeah, man. Rest in peace, brother. Rest in peace. But yeah. So, like, I just hope they could do what they can to kind of add a little bit more to it. Maybe Tui's daughter goes to school with Zach. It'd be funny if they even make that Zach, like Zach's daughter with Tui, with Tui, because I think, and the thing is, I've never seen all of Turbo, the movie. But I believe, from what I understood, people hint in, because I never understood why people got this Kimberly and Jason thing going, but as fan fiction. But I kind of just thought that was just like because like Tommy ended up with Kat, that all right, then Kimberly ends up with Jason somehow off screen. But from what I understand, they said it's somewhere in that letter, and I guess somehow it ends in that Turbo movie, and it implies that Jason and her was kind of dealing. And if I'm not mistaken, that letter, because I vaguely remember that episode when she breaks up with him via the letter. I don't think she ever mentioned Jason, but I think they said, because when they showed back up as bad guys in Turbo, I believe there was some people said that part of that, I guess there was a hint that they were starting to deal. And if that's the case, then would it be that far-fetched? Billy was out there in Aquitar. Is it far-fetched to say that Zach, especially Zach and Trini, was the only one that never came back? Even when Jason came back as a Gold Ranger, is it possible that they had a child together? That would be interesting. So I'm really looking forward to see how they play this story up. Even though she doesn't seem like the daughter, the girl that plays it doesn't seem like she's biracial or half black, I should say. That can also happen too. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It can happen. You know what I mean? Like your kid can take up more of the other parent than the other one. You know what I mean? And from a rounded nose and stuff like that, a lot of Asian people tend to have. It wouldn't be far-fetched to say that you could play it off and say she was part. I'm not trying to push that narrative, but because we don't know what happened, and they showed a picture of Zach and the Radbug, the new Radbug, if I'm not mistaken, with the new with Trini's daughter, and it looked like they was at a grave site, and Billy is also there too. I had to go look it up to make sure. But Billy's also there too. And for me, I mean, you could kind of play that up. That could be a possibility too. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Billy's there as well. All I know is I just hope that they mature the characters up enough, but still make it Power Rangers, but make it dope as hell. Like Netflix, I feel like will put more money into this than any Power Rangers that they've ever done. And I really would love to see Zach take the front and center at least for once and give him some sort of shine and top billing. Something that he's never gotten in the series. Well, he's gotten his episodes, don't get me wrong. But I want it to be done with some sort of sincerity. And give him a good arc, if you will, or something that outside of this, something that happened in the purview, or hint the allude that he was a Ranger after he left, at least for a period. And I would love to see them hint at the Omega Rangers. You ain't gotta canonize or everything that was done, but you can hint that they were Omega Rangers. Not saying that everything that was there, that in the comics is 100% canon to the series, but they can, at least at that point, they can pick and choose how they approach whatever happened as an Omega Ranger that kind of came out the comics, but they can add more to at least make it interesting to the story, but also add another level of layers onto these characters, so that when, say, if you want to bring other characters back, maybe they have met off screen because they were as Rangers before. You know what I'm saying? So that would be just a dope idea, at least in my mind. I like to see. I'm very also interested, before I close out, on what Adam and Aisha has their roles in this. This is going to be very cool to see how they handle their progression as characters. But again, I'm excited. I'm hyped to see me babbling a mile a minute. I didn't even want this video to go that long, but I fuck with the Power Rangers. But in any event, let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you excited? Are you hyped like I am about it? Let me know what you're actually looking forward to see. I know they're going to do a lot for Tui. I do hope that somewhere at the end, at least if they didn't do something in there to allude to JDF there, at the very end there at least, which I'm sure they will, give a nod or maybe have a moment where they show at the very end, when they drop all the credits, a whole montage of him with all the Rangers, and maybe have Rangers at the very end sending videos, even if they can't show up to New Zealand to film it, to have film a goodbye or something real fly for JDF, and montage some behind the scene films and stuff like that, pics, and maybe even a little bit of memory. It would just be a nice little send off, and it'd be even dope if you ended with Austin St. John saying something at the very end, even if it has to be via camera, because he couldn't go over to New Zealand because of his legal issues. And that could be a dope ass thing to add on at the very end. So, like they said, once a Ranger, always. But leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe. See you next time. And as always, till I have a bit outro. Chill.
A couple of us that had never been on camera together before.
Well, we're Mighty Morphin together, but separate cast. We've never actually worked together.
This is our first time working together.
Just coming back to the show in general it's just a joy.
We're a family of Rangers, so to finally be on a set.
Before, but a lot of the same elements are there.
I think what I'm most excited about for the fans and this 30th anniversary special is for them to see us all together and our chemistry and our growth.
I think this is the best way we could have celebrated 30 years.